I'm Kristi, and the lovely dog owner is Michaela, and we are going to be doing your class today. Okay, the class is set up a little differently. We have done tech tips on our social media. We have all three platforms. It's at MISDITech or hashtag MISDITech, and every day we do tips. And so this session is to just have a face and kind of go a little bit deeper into the tips that we have put out there, and also to not only show you the tips, but then give you a chance to, if you have questions about small little tips that you would like answered, this is your time as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to present my screen, and we're going to go ahead and start. Okay. I put in the chat the Google Slides that has all the tech tips, and this is where I'm going to be starting at. We've already had one class on this tech tip, so we've already done 6 of the tips. So we are starting on slide 16 for today. So on March 27th, we put out a tip of the day about Chromebook shortcuts. We know that lots of students are using Chromebooks because they had an opportunity to pick up a Chromebook at one of the schools that a sibling may go to. And so we wanted to put out there different shortcuts that students can use if they're not aware. So right here are all the screenshots and all the different buttons that they push in order to do something. Now, right here where it says see more, click here. If you were to do that, this is the Chromebook help section. Google has help sections, and they're really, really beneficial. And so this is lots and lots of shortcuts, as well as the ones that you see that we put out. I also wanted to show you that right here is some new to Chromebook, so like setting up. Now, ours is set up because of the filter, but I thought that this was really good as well if you're new to Chromebooks, other types of things like that. Okay, so we're moving right along. The next tip of the day is the grid view for Google Meets, and let me show you what that is. So right here, this is not grid view, but if I click on this right here, now I can see everyone's faces, and it looks similar to Zoom, those pictures of the Brady Bunch that people were doing. And so this is grid view. Okay, and the way that you get it is through the Chrome Web Store. So if I go and click on a new tab, and I click Apps right here, and I click Web Store, then I can search the web for, and I can type in Google Meets Grid View. And when I do, the extension comes up. And if you don't have it, it will say Add to Chrome, like this one. But if you do have it, it will say Rate it. So that's how you know if you have it or not. When you click Add to Chrome, it will show up right here in your extensions. These are extensions right here. So right here is my Grid View extension. And once it's there, I don't have to do anything in order to have that button come up. The next tip that I'm going to show you is the extension Read Aloud. Do you have a question?
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have a question. No. If we downloaded a grid view on one laptop or one device, is it automatically added to, like, if I were to log on to a different laptop or something?
Yes, it is, as long as you are signed in on your Chrome web browser. So how you know that is right here. This is me, and so on my right here on my my dashboard, you can see that this is my account and I'm synced up. So as long as you're synced up right there on your account, then yes, it will be there. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do it every single time you're on a different device. Good question.
Thank you.
Yes. So the next tip is adding a read aloud extension for students. Okay. And so this is a video that I did that's on our YouTube channel for adding this extension to your Chrome. And what it does, So let me show you. So I would do the same thing. I would type in read aloud, and then I would click add to Chrome. Okay. And so what it does is it is right up here. Let me see. There it is. It's right up here. Read aloud. And so if I was on a website, so I'm just going to say National Geographic. Okay. And then I'm going to just go to the home page of National Geographic so you can see. And once it loads, so I'm going to click right here for read aloud. And it's gonna load. You know what? It's actually doing the whole thing. See, right here.
Latest stories. Subscribe for full access to read stories from National Geographic. Today's picks. Learn more. The National Geographic Society.
So it reads the entire article to them. And you can make the text smaller or bigger, and it will show them, it will highlight what they're reading. So it's pretty good, especially for our younger learners or our learners with accommodations as well. So moving right along. And this one is Google Keep. And I'm not super great at it, so Michaela's going to chime in, and she's going to talk just the basics of Google Keep.
Okay, hi. So I'm going to do just the basics. I'm certainly not an ace at it, but I have used some of the things. It's a great way to capture and then keep the things you want. You can also export it to other apps or share it as collaborators. So, Kristi, I guess I'll share.
Okay.
Now.
Yep. Perfect.
Let's see. So I'll present my screen. And you can get to Google Keep at keep.google.com.
Oh no. She just X'd out of her thing. She just X'd out of it. So let me present. And let me just keep going. She'll probably plop back on here in 1 second. So right here, I'm sharing my screen.
Hey, buddy.
So, oh, there she's back again. Let me stop sharing now. Michaela, your microphone.
Sorry. Wow, I'm just, it's Monday, isn't it? Okay, so you go to keep.google.com. Can everyone hear me now? I hope. Okay, and here is where you can create notes. You can add photographs. You're going to see here from TCA, these are notes and images that I want to keep. And so the way you do it is up here, you'll always have a possibility to take a note. You can do it by a new checklist. You can do drawings, which is great. And you can also add images. So one way to use it is to take a photograph, say, of a presentation, and then just save it in your camera roll. And then you can you can add images to a note, and that way you always have it. And you can also add text. So, sorry, I've got a puppy. So that's one way to do it. And the great thing is, so let's say this is a note I have. This is to practice changing notes to list. You can actually change the format. You can archive notes and then get them back later. You can, I like this, share the notes with other collaborators. So I can share it with Kristi. And then now she has it. And so if we go to, say, at TCA 2 different things, or you've just got information you want to share, you can do that. You can change colors. You can add drawings. It just has a lot of things, and it's very versatile. The other way you can also use it, you can put it into Google Slides. It's just a really versatile way to keep and use information that you found.
Great.
So, yeah, so those are the very, very basics.
Okay. So, and there is for you as well. So this takes you to Google Keep right here. And then this right here is just another resource of how to start it up. Okay. So not last week, but the Friday before, we started doing tech tips of the day from everyone for everyone in our department. And so what we want you to do is we want you to look at slides 12 and 11. And we want you to look at the different tips. And if you have a question or if you want more information about one, we want you to speak up. So we're going to give you a few minutes to look over slide 11 and slide 12. And then we are happy to go over any of those tips.
And Kristi,
So
can you share your screen so it's also up on the screen?
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
Okay. So again, we're on slide 11 and 12. Is there anyone that would like to go further into some of these tips? Oh, how to import grades to Skyward. So right now, we can't do that. Right now, we don't have the capability of taking our Google Classroom grades and putting them into Skyward, but it's something that they're working on. So unfortunately, we can't put Skyward grades in from Google Classroom just yet. Consider combining screen and non-screen activities for your youngest learners, making use of common household items. Okay, so with that, so one of the activities in second grade is to do 100 more, 100 less. So, and it was for, I think, this week or last week. And then 10 more, 10 less. So instead of them just doing some worksheet where they're answering some questions, they can hold and see what are things that they have that could be 100 more or 100 less, or 10 more or 10 less, and then give us some examples. And they can take some pictures, they can draw them, they can do anything that they want, but they would have to actually physically go around. So my daughter's a second grader, so we did this activity as well. And so we talked about like
Is Kristi frozen for everyone or just me?
No, it's frozen on mine as well. I can't hear anything.
So I'm going to kind of continue with that. So the idea, and she was going into a super specific, and I think you get the idea of that. But the idea is that kids sitting in front of the computer doing everything digitally, you're not seeing necessarily the full range of their understanding. It's certainly not allowing for differentiation of showing their understanding, and that you could actually create relevance and context for them when you give them things that are in their house, real world, that they can go around, and it gives them some context and relevance. So did that Did that address your need? Great. Okay. So quizzes. Oh, how to import grades from Google Quizzes to Google Classroom. Okay, so you actually do not access the actual grades from the quiz they take. That's on a Google form. Here, I can show you. You actually have those grades if you set it up as a quiz. You actually, let's see, I'm going to share my screen. Hey, Chris, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we kind of finished addressing that, and then
Perfect.
great. So, so if you're in a Google form, let's see. We'll go to my. Sorry, I'm kind of winging this here for a second. You actually access those grades. If you set it up as a quiz and it auto grades, you access those grades from the response spreadsheet you created from the Google form. So I'm trying to think. Just don't know what I have in here, folks. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't have one up, but I don't know if that makes sense. So when you set up your Google form and you create it as a quiz, you go to the response tab on your editable form, and then you create the spreadsheet. Here, let me just do this very quickly. Sorry about that. So if I have a Google form I'm creating, I have to have set it up as a quiz, and after you do that, then in responses, you're going to see this green square with a cross on it. And that's how you create a spreadsheet that links to your form, so that anytime a student responds to the form and hits submit, that grade is tallied and goes into that spreadsheet for you. And that's where you access those grades. And they're just literally in a column, and you can sort any way you prefer. Did that answer the question?
Michaela, did you have to set it up as a quiz?
Yes.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah. Otherwise, it won't grade it. So if it's not set up as a quiz and set up as auto grade, and you have they have to be multiple choice, and you actually choose the correct answers and make them required. If then once you set it up that way, what's beautiful about it, it will auto grade it, drop those grades. First of all, you can actually have it tell the students their grades too. Drop the grades into your spreadsheet for you, and then you can access those at any time and enter those into your Skyward.
Can you take like I'm not very tech savvy. If you already have a form, can you change it? If it's already been posted, can you change it into a quiz?
So let me show you. When you hit settings, I'm going to do that again. Kind of slow-mo. Up here, so you've created a form. These are your questions. Obviously, we didn't create it. You go to settings, the little gear, and there are 3 tabs: general, presentation, and quizzes. If you go to quizzes and you say, make this a quiz, then you are able to release the grade to the student after they submit it. Now, it's more complex and complicated to set everything up so it grades. It's not horribly hard. And certainly we have actually on Thursday, we have a Google one of these classes that will walk you right through that. But
Thank you. You said Thursday? I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, Thursday at 10 a.m. Denise, if you're there, is that correct? I think that's correct.
I'm looking right now too.
Okay. Actually, I can look right here. So it is.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you so much. Terrific. So did that answer your question? Would that be, I hope that'll be helpful to you. And also you can just get in touch with your tech coach who will walk you right through it as well, or our department office hours. Somebody can help you walk through that.
Thank you. And I will definitely be seeing you ladies on Thursday at 10.
Awesome. Terrific. We can't wait. Okay. What other questions? Anything in Google Slides or a Google form that students can use to draw? Yes. Kristi, you want to take that? Are you going to, I was going to mention Jamboard, but.
Oh, no, I can.
Here, I'm gonna
yes, I can show you right here. So this was my tech tip for last week. So I'm excited to share this. So if you go into your Drive and if you go to Google Doc, so File New, Google Doc.
Share your screen, Kristi.
Oh, it is sharing.
Oh, it wasn't. It is.
Oh, okay, good. Is it sharing now? Is it sharing now? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so if you go into Insert and you say Drawing, you can click and add a new one right then and there. So if I say New, so now I can draw right here, just in whatever I want. So I can draw. Oops. I can draw if I have my line. So I have my line. I go to Scribble. And then now I can draw whatever it is that I want to draw. And then I can click Save and Close. And then now it's on my Google Doc. So you can also do that in Google Slides as well. Hopefully that answered your question about just drawing directly. And it's in Google Slides and Google Docs that you can do that same thing. All right, well, we're going to keep going since I'm presenting. We have 2 more tech tips, and then we're going to open up for some more questions. So the first one on
I don't know if I can't hear her again. So I'm going to let her know, and then we can look at this. Okay, so these are our distance learning lesson templates. So let me share my screen. Sorry, we're just having wonderful technical difficulties. This is the fun of it, right? Poor Kristi. Let's see, I'm going to go to our tech tips. Boy, everything's slow. I think it's Monday. That's my guess. Okay, so these tip of the day, these are templates. You can add months and days here. I'll be honest, I haven't really looked at these very much, so.
I'm back. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, go ahead, Kristi. I'm going to quit sharing.
Okay. I have no clue why I'm getting horrible internet. Just is not doing very well for me today. Okay. All right. So if I go back to the tech tips, if you click on it, then it gives you a Google slide to different templates. And so this right here is, it automatically makes a copy into your Drive. So if I click Make a Copy, that's going to be this document is forcing me to make a copy. It's called Force Copy. And how you do it is you take your URL for your Google Doc, your Google Slides. If you see Edit right here, okay, and if you take and delete that and put Copy, it will make anyone force a copy of this Google Slides. And so these right here are slide templates for you to use if you want to kind of have some consistency. Because what we're noticing is that we have people that are doing different, they're not consistent. And so the parents are getting confused and the students are getting confused as to where is what. So this is a template that would just kind of help students and parents navigate their instructions and the expectations. So this is for you and it's a very large file, but this is for you to use if you need a template. All right, the last tip for today is if you're using Google Classroom with your students, this is a topic. And so what we were noticing is that sometimes teachers don't have topics for students and they're getting confused. So a suggestion could be to take your topic and make either one day of the week or a of dates for the week. And then there's a difference between assignments and material posts. Material posts is just resources for students, okay? So that they see this image and they know this is a resource that I need. And then this one right here is an assignment. This is an assignment that I'm going to do something, okay? So it could be that you're attaching something to do. And I just figured out in HMH for elementary teachers that they can take their HMH book and they can download it as or upload it to Google Classroom as an assignment post and attach things. And we just figured that out too. So you can do that assignment right there. So there is a difference between a material post and an assignment post. So now we're going to open up for questions that you may have. It can be any kind of questions for any kind of tip that you're needing an answer for.
Christina, you just said I'm a first grade teacher. How could we do that HMH for an assignment?
Yes. So if you go into, let me just show you really quick. Let me go show you really quick. If you go into reading, and hopefully my internet will, let me take it and get rid of that one because it's slowing my internet down. So in HMH, if you were to go to something, so I'm going to go to Discover and pick a grade. Well, I'm already in first grade. There you go. And then I went to Module 10. I'm going to click View Resources. And then right here is a filter. If you go down to Components and click on Components, and then I want just the read alouds because I want to give them a read aloud. And so I'm going to click Read Aloud Book. Okay, and I want to do I'm Amelia Earhart, so I'm going to click Open. And then on the right-hand side, there is a tab to open More, and I click on that More, and then I can click on Google Classroom. And if you've already linked your classes to Google Classroom, and it does it automatically, just so you know, the link. And so here is, I'm just going to, hope won't mind. And I'm going to click on to create an assignment or to make a material post. So if I just want to give them the read aloud, I would say create material. But if I want to create an assignment, I want them to read this and then do something with it, I could click on this, okay? And I click go. Now, this is the thing that you need to make sure that you don't do. When you click assign, it will assign it automatically and it will not let you attach something else later on. So what you want to do is you want to go to the arrow, okay? Well, I have to put a title. You'll have to go to the arrow and then you click Save Draft. And when you click Save Draft, then you can go back into Google Classroom and then you can open that draft and you can attach other things to it. So don't click Assign, click Save Draft. And then that'll let you on that link and they'll go straight to that read aloud.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So Kristi, Denise found this and I just posted in the chat. There really is a way to now import the grades from Google Form into Google Classroom. Again, you do have to set it up as a quiz and it has to actually grade it. But there's the link and Denise is a hero as usual. So
good. And I know that right now we can't take the Google Classroom and put them in a Skyward, but I think that's something they're working on.
So I will say this, in the past, you could do that with if you create and download a CSV file.
Oh, yes, you can, actually. You're right. Yes.
Put them into Skyward.
Yes.
But I think TechServe, a help desk, can help you or direct you on how the instructions for that.
Yes.
I don't have download your grades as what's called a CSV file, and then you can actually then import those into Skyward and they'll drop them in for you.
Yes, you are right. but I don't know how to do the CSV file. But yes, you are. If you're in a secondary, they have a video that they took out to secondary. I'm just now remembering, it's all coming back to me. Mr. Weed, William Weed, he's really good. He's at a teachers that I work with. And there is a video circulating that help desk gave them for secondary. Yes, thank you.
Do you think you could find that somehow and we can, I don't know, post it somewhere? Maybe on our distance learning?
Yes, so let me work on that and we'll get that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll work on that after this class. I'm gonna email him and ask him for the video. Yeah, perfect. He's very helpful. Any other questions? Any questions that you may have? Anything that you need a tip for or that you need something answered? Oh, so they don't have to log into the HMH. No, so when you do that and you put it onto your Google Classroom, they click on the link, and if they're already logged into their portal, which they probably will have been if they were getting into Google Classroom, then it opens right up for them. And thank you, Melody, for helping. Yep. Any other questions? This is the way that our tips and tricks classes, they run, is we go over the tips just a little more in a little more detail, and then we open it up for anyone to talk or to question or to help each other out.
Great question. So it helped us out too, looking up the information to transfer Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Google form grades and also the grades into Skyward. So they gave us something to find out and hopefully post. Ms. Stokesbury, you've got a very handsome companion with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but please, if you have any more questions, feel free to stay on and ask away. But other than that, thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks a lot.